Hello, kids, and welcome to Thursday's edition of Social Studies with Mr. Ryder. And I'm excited to be talking to you today about, of course, more New Mexico stuff. But we're going to be talking specifically about awesome places to visit in our state. We're going to start off by talking about a word I don't know if you really know about. It's the word tourist. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Think about what the definition of a tourist might be. Well, you might know, but here's the definition. A tourist is a person traveling or visiting a place for pleasure. Now, we know about tourists who visit all kinds of places um, in the world. For example, if you go to New York, you'll see tourists everywhere. I've been to New York and I love it there. If you go to Paris or London or Los Angeles or beaches, there's thousands of places that are tourist destinations in the entire world. Well, did you know that New Mexico is also a tourist destination? Well, it is. And you know why? Because it's awesome. We have an awesome state. I've already told you this. And I really want all of us to learn to appreciate how great of a state we're in. So, what I want you to think about now, I'm going to give you some pause time to think here. I want you to think if a tourist came from another state all the way to New Mexico, where on earth would they go? What cities would they go to? What places within those cities? What cool landforms or things like that? I want you to think for a second about that. I'm going to give you some pause time, and I want you just to come up with some answers. Yell it out. Come on, for real. Okay, great. Well, I bet you've come up with some really good answers. Well, today in our New Mexico fact section, we're going to talk about some of the places that a tourist might come to if they went to New Mexico. Are you ready? Because I am. And here's something kind of cool. I'm going to try my best to show you some photos of my world. So you'll get to see into Mr. Ryder's world a little bit more. I'll show you some pictures of the places that I've traveled to. So that might be fun for you. I'll do my best. First off, Carlsbad Caverns. We have one of the hidden gems of the entire world. I told you in an earlier lesson that Carlsbad Caverns is absolutely one of my favorite places to go in the entire world. So, hey, after this whole COVID craziness is over, you and your family might want to take a family trip to Carlsbad Caverns. It's not super far. It's at the bottom part of our state. And a cavern is another fancy word for cave. And I'm going to show you some pictures of myself and some of my family members whenever we went to Carlsbad Caverns. I hope this shows up well. Here is a picture of my wife, my daughter, and myself, and we are in a cave in Carlsbad Caverns. And look at that stuff behind us. Are you kidding me? How awesome is that? Here are some more pictures of like stalactites and stalagmites. Look at that. That's pretty awesome too. Here is us at the mouth of the cave, which is at the very top. Before we even started, we went into that huge hole there. And then there's a picture of my daughter Abby and I. We're walking down the long road to get to the bottom of the cave, the cavern. Here's another super cool picture. You will not believe it when you go, how amazing some of these photos are. So that's Carlsbad Caverns, and I suggest that you and your family make it a point to get to there, because hey, it's in our own state. How cool is that? Next, Oh, let me give you a little facts about Carlsbad Caverns. Hidden beneath the surface are more than 119 caves, formed when sulfuric acid dissolved limestone, leaving behind caverns of all sizes. This wondrous cavern made twists for endless miles deep within the earth. Much of Carlsbad Caverns is still unmapped and unexplored, untouched by man or machine. Pretty cool. Now, I want to tell you a place that's not very far from Carlsbad Caverns. You can make it a double trip if you decided to go with your family. A place called White Sands. Some of you have already been there. Here's a picture of White Sands. And as you can see, of course, the sand is white. And there's a lot of it. There's another picture of my wife and my daughter hanging out. It's pretty hot down there in southern New Mexico. And there's Abby, and she was going down. I was going down too. We were trying to sled down the sand, and there's her at the end. Oh, and look in the background. There's some grasses, some crazy grasses. I thought it might have been a yucca, but it's not. Okay. Well, they could also go to our state capital, which is, yeah, you knew it, Santa Fe. And while a tourist is at Santa Fe, they could go and meet our governor, Michelle Lujan Grisham. And you might not know this, but our governor lives in Santa Fe. That's our state capital. They also might want to come to the largest city in our state. Say it if you know it. Come on. That's right, Albuquerque. While they're in Albuquerque, they might go to the Balloon Fiesta. You guys know about this because every single year, a lot of us go there. Thousands and thousands of tourists and local people go to the Balloon Fiesta. Let me read a little bit about Balloon Fiesta, then I'll show you some pictures. Literally hundreds of hot air balloons fill the skies of Albuquerque each year in early October. Balloons come from around the world for the International Balloon Fiesta. It is the largest balloon festival of its kind in the world. And I'll show you a couple pictures of my family here at the Balloon Fiesta. I bet you guys have pictures of yourself and your family going, hey, and one time we got on our bikes because we don't live too far from the Balloon Fiesta Park, and we just rode our bikes there. That was kind of cool too. All right, well, guys, if you can believe it, now that it's Thursday, we've had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 4 days of going over interesting things about New Mexico, facts, and talking about cultures and our flag and tourists and what people might come to New Mexico to do. So now it's time to get to our homework, and here's where things get serious. Your homework is, if you choose to accept it, and I want you to, you are going to need to print out a study guide. Now, here's the good news. I already have the answers in the study guide. Your job then will be, once you print it out, go find a parent in your house and quiz them on the study guide. See how well they can do and see what kind of grade they might get. Once you're finished with that quiz of your parents, then you're going to flip right around and your parent is going to then quiz you and see how well you do on your little, it's like a practice test, because tomorrow is your test day. I know my kids were ready to go for their New Mexico test before we got cut off from our break. So I bet you guys will be too. So that's your homework. Print it out, give a parent a test, and then that same parent is going to give you the test, and it's going to be lots of practice for you to get all those New Mexico facts right in your brain so that you'll be raring to go for tomorrow's test on Friday. So thank you very much for your attention. Great job. You guys are doing awesome. And it's time for me to sign off. And as always, go Tigers.